In the previous video, we got the engine all cleaned up, painted, and looking unreal. But before we can get it in the car, we've got to do a quick step back. We need to take off everything from the front suspension, swap it out with brand new disc brakes and lowered suspension. So let's jump straight into that. We've already started by dismantling the front of the car after the car show we did at Canterbury Wheels and Tyres. Now we have space to move around to get all the shiny new parts in the front end. Getting all the suspension ready to swap out. 50 years of grease on all this. So the first one's out, first spring out. That's the difference between the lowered springs. Bang. Second one out. Now I've gotten pretty close of tearing down the whole front end. We got both springs out and that is all pretty much stripped, but this lower control arm, these bolts must be bent or something because they are not moving. They don't want to budge. The other side came out really easy, so that's all apart and in the box. I'm looking forward to getting all the new stuff painted up on there eventually. We just got to figure out how to get those two bolts out. I've tried a couple of different things to get these bolts loose, but this side doesn't even move. I think the way I'm going to go about it right now is to just cut straight up the guts on both sides and just hope that if I get it in there, then they'll just drop out. So I've got the hacksaw. I said a thing a little while ago in like a really old video, when in doubt, hack it out. And that's where I'm at with this. So let's cut it out. These bolts are gonna be so screwed because of how rusty they are. So I'm not gonna be able to use them anyway. So let's hack it out because we're in doubt and let's see how we go. Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna go in like that. Is that doing anything? I barely scratched the bolt. Maybe I need to try a bit harder. If I tried from this side and went down a lot like that. Whoa! Whoa! Holy Jesus. Wow. That was scary. Alright. Don't do what I do. I think it's probably better if I got the grinder in there, but this is probably safer. Or is it? I got back home from school today and Dad says to me, oh yeah, go look what I've done in the shed. And he has taken off the lower control arm. He said it was an absolute pain, but it's done. And he's cut off the bolts. This metal bit that's inside the rubber was rusted to this bolt, and when we were turning it, it was just moving inside the rubber. So that makes sense why I didn't want to knock out, because obviously it's thicker than the actual bolt, so it wasn't going to come out the hole. So now that's out, we are pretty much ready to start putting in the new stuff. So thanks Dad for doing that. We've obviously gotten all the front suspension out. I've noticed that all of this is pretty dirty and not painted because when all the suspension was on it, we couldn't paint it. So we're going to quickly wire wheel all of that and give it a little bit of a lick of paint, and then we're getting ready to put the suspension in. On another note, how good does this engine look? If you didn't watch the video where we painted all this up, go and watch that. I really just want to get it in here, but before I can, I need to make sure that I've got all the suspension in and set up, and then I can drop the engine in. It's kind of one step back before we can do that, but it's also a step forward because we got to do this anyway. So I've just looked underneath here and I've realized that that is full of grass. So it looks like someone has used this as a paddock basher at some stage and done some circle work in the fields. So let's rip all that out. I reckon this has been in here for quite some time. Yeah, this thing was definitely used as a workhorse some stage in its life. So that's how much we just pulled out. Nice. As I said, oh, what's that? Sounds alright. Oh, it's RX3. That guy lives up the street. Will, if you're watching this, just saw you drive past. Anyway, the shed is an absolute pigsty. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it needs to be cleaned, but we've been acquiring more stuff. So I need to clean up the shed a little bit, but I picked up some brand new Pedders Sports Ryder suspension. Let's get them out. Nice freshies. So I'm keen to get them in the car. Got front and rears. Big thanks to Bodie for helping me sort them out. I've already gotten the front control arm, top control arm and bottom control arm on. On these lower control arms that came off the car, they have the old bump stops that are actually still in pretty good nick. So I'm just gonna nick them off. And then we'll have some bump stops because I'm not paying to buy a brand new set of them when I've already got some. So that. We didn't get the suspension in yesterday and I'm determined to get it in today. So we mucked around a little bit. I didn't get it on film, but we're trying to get the spring compressor to compress the spring to get it squeezed enough to fit in there. And we just couldn't figure it out because the setup that it was, there's like a fork that goes in there on the top and you won't be able to fit it in. So anyway, then I decided that what would happen if you put the bolt through here and then tried going up and pushing it up against that. So now I'm trying to do that and I'm hoping that that works. It's a little bit sketchy. Springs are like live grenades and I'm not a massive fan of them. Looks like they're going in on an angle. How do I pull it back in? Looks like it's going on an angle. It is. It's not. I'm just going to check that it's seated properly. Live grenade. I reckon it is seated properly. Not doing anything. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's stopped moving. It's a bit dodgy. So we've just taken it off and now we're doing it up again because we originally had it on one spring higher, which wasn't giving us enough to pull it in. So now it's switched to the ratchet because the rattle gun wasn't working anymore. Sweet. Now the bottom one is just on. If you can lift that, I reckon I can get the nut on. Should just be able to get that nut on. God. Sweet. We got everything in there. Spindle is all on, bolted in, split pins are in. Now we just got to figure out to get this out. It's not easy. Okay. Alright. Cool. Sweet. That's one in. Now I'm going to pack the bearings for the slotted discs. So just rub it in there. Get it nice and greased up. I'm pretty happy to get that spring in. It was a bit dicey at the start, but now it is time to start assembling that side. So I still got to put in all the control arms and repeat the process on the other side, but we'll just get this side done first and then we'll move over to that side. Make sure that's all nice before I put the bearing in. I'll drop that in there. These are all greased up now. Yeah, nice. Well, that's good, isn't it? Great, now my bearings all dropped out. There we go. Oh. Okay. Yeah, and there's a lot. I'm pretty happy to have that side all in now. So now I'm going to repeat the process and jump straight over to this side. There's one done to spec. Two. Alright. And now I can't get the bloody thing off. Lower control arm number 2 is in. Top wishbone is now all in. I've just dummy fitted the shims because whoever does the wheel alignment will do it properly. So I've got that all set up now. And this is the fun part, just letting it go up. Well, I'm looking at this and that looks a little bit off from where it needs to be. I've got a feeling that this side needs to be on the back here to kind of bring it in when I'm tightening it up. Like, we're close, we're nearly in. Obviously it was going out in the angle and we need to pull it in, so I tightened it back up, got a ratchet strap, attached it, and it just pulled it straight into place. So that's probably the best way to do it. Now I can just do my spindle. So now my spindle can just go on. So much better. Now that the spindle is on, I've got a jack under it to take the pressure off while I'm loosening it, just so it doesn't go twang. Still keep it under tension. Both springs in. Just torque these up to spec because I left them loose before. Nice. So that's the second one all done. Both of them. Stoked with that. I'm going to start assembling the other brake caliper. Dad has already done the other one while I was doing the suspension on the passenger side. So now it's my turn to rebuild one. Well, that is the second brake caliper. I mucked around with that boot for ages. It took me like 3 attempts. Anyway, we got there. Both of them are done. And I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. So we'll come back when we're next in the shed. All of the suspension and front end is now in. And I'm so happy with how it looked. We rounded out the edges because the Pedders shocks are a bit too big and slotted them straight in. But we also bolted in all of our tie rod arms and also the steering box and the steering shaft. So now we have actually got some steering, which is awesome. How sick do they look? Unreal. So much better than the old drums that we had. I think it's time to chuck some wheels on it, and then we've got a rolling car again. Alright, so we've got the GDS Sprints from CTM Muscle. I love these wheels. They're so good. Very nice. And we have touched down. How good is that? Obviously not low enough because the engine's still not in it, but super stoked with all that. And she's once again a roller. Hey, we just got a delivery for a missing piece that I've been after for a little while, and that is the clutch. So we just got this dropped off last night, and that means it's time to start putting the engine and transmission together. We've got Tony today, he's helping us out. We're gonna get this engine done, transmission out here, dusted off, it's been sitting in there, freshly rebuilt, just waiting for this day. With the new clutch kit, I've gotten, obviously the clutch, but I've gone a new flywheel as well, just because may as well do it while I'm there. So we've got the engine all ready to go. I've just pulled out the spigot bush. Big thanks to Wayne for lending me his puller so I could get that out, because now I can put in the new one and put the transmission in. So I've just bolted on the bow housing. Also thanks to Rob for rebuilding this with me a little while ago so that it is ready to bolt straight on. There's nothing I have to do with it. Massive thanks to Adam for sorting me out with the clutch, because that was a big thing to get to make this happen today. So thanks for dropping that off yesterday for me. There's not really much else to do other than to start bolting it all together. All lubed up. It's pretty fiddly. Nice. Back in action. Here we go. We've got it. Yeah, we'll lower it a little bit.
Let's go down a bit more.
Yep, that's looking good.
This is fucking grouse. Give it a wiggle.
Yeah.
More, I'll let it go a bit more.
A bit more. Yep, alright, we're on there.
We're on.
Now that the engine is all bolted in, I'm super stoked, and I have just put on the chrome rocker covers, sat the Quadrajet on with the chrome filter, and I need to show you guys because I'm so happy with how it looks, and this is getting me so excited. Super happy with how it looks. Just the chrome filter and rocker covers make such a big difference. It's been a pretty big episode to get all the suspension in, engine in. It makes such a big difference having a bit of chrome in there. I've gone for a sort of old school vibe, and I reckon it really suits the blue with the car as well, and it really pops with the red. So I'm super happy with how that looks. I do appreciate all you guys being patient with me. I have not posted in a little while, mainly because I've been working super hard to fund the build, and it means I'm time poor when I'm in the shed trying to get stuff done, but obviously you need to have money to build the car. That's what's kind of stopped me from getting any progression done, and obviously meaning I can't post any videos because nothing's getting finished. So I'm super stoked to get all the suspension in and the engine in, because that means that now we are getting ready to hear it for the first time. I've already got a starter motor that I picked up the other day. I've got a Dizzy on the way, but fuel lines, fuel tank, gonna get ready to go in. Next video, we're gonna be doing a bit of car builder stuff. Stay tuned for that because we're gonna deck it out. A bit of a section where I'm finishing year 12 at high school, so there's only a couple weeks left of that, which is kind of scary, and then I'm out in the adult world. It's getting very exciting, and there are plenty of videos to come, but obviously I'm still trying to pay for it all, which makes it a bit hard, but it's been way too long since I posted a video. So I do appreciate you guys being patient. I've been getting loads of messages saying, when's the next video, when's the next video? It's good that you want to see more videos, and I'm trying to pump it out, but once year 12's finished, I'm going to be going all in. We're going to get this car done. So thank you guys for sticking around till the end. Make sure you stay to the very end to watch the bloopers, because that's a bit of fun. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Oh.
Wire wheeling bolts for the... It's called.
I do enjoy making the little blooper bit at the end. Make sure you go and subscribe and drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the build.